Hello. In this recording from our Justia webinar, Lights, Camera, Clients, Driving Law Firm Growth Through Video Marketing, Robert Weiss offers strategic insights and guidance on how lawyers and law firms can start taking advantage of video as a part of their marketing strategies. Remember, if you'd like to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. It's going to be a little bit of a fire hose, and hopefully you're going to get a lot of good information about strategy, how to think about video, how to plan for video, and then how to market video. And so we're going to get started with actually a video, right? Kind of apropos. And this is why attorneys need to be creating video.
Legal marketing teams and accounting marketing teams should really be pushing their partners to get in front of the camera. Because at the end of the day, it is the partners who are actually driving the business opportunities of their firms. It's their skill set, it's their personality, their bedside manner, and everything that they've done in order to build that trust and credibility with clients to get new casework. So what other marketing medium is going to allow you to get those partners out in front of people on a very wide basis? What video allows you to do is have digital assets that you can use in multiple channels on your website, in blogs, on bio pages, emails, social, and those videos last potentially for 3, 4, or 5 years. What other marketing investment can you make that will last that long and allows potential clients to get to know your partners before they pick up the phone? Or maybe it's even during a sales process when you're courting those prospects and they're getting closer to signing with you. Chances are they're going back to your website to check your firm out and to check those partners out. So that's why accounting teams and legal marketers should really be pushing their partners to do video.
So we like to say that video gives the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time. And I could probably end this webinar with that 2-minute video, because that really sums everything up as to the why and how you might utilize video. But really what it comes down to it is that you as an attorney, or if you're representing attorneys, need to build that know, like, and trust factor with that thought leadership. And thought leadership content is key in B2B purchasing decisions, even B2C purchasing decisions. Because I know we have a collection of B2B and B2C lawyers here. So what video does is allow you to get your personality, the know, like, and trust factor to inform and educate without selling in front of people as they evaluate. And we all know, and we're all doing it, we're all online every single day throughout the buying cycle. So why video? I'm going to start with the first thing is that video plugs in to almost every single business objective. So if I've heard before, oh, we're not really doing video, but you're doing stuff to focus on these core business objectives, which include a number of these and maybe a couple more. I like to think recruiting as just another business objective that isn't typically listed here. That's another business objective that video plugs into very well. So it's not about video. It's about your business objective and creating content that happens to be video. Another reason why video is that video lasts for a long time. If you think about some of the things you talk about all the time, you're probably repeating that month after month, quarter after quarter. As the same types of cases come to you, you're repeating those things. Guess what? Those same types of people are also online searching for answers to their solutions. So a video done today will actually increase in value over time. And there's many different types of videos that you could create, just like many different types of content that you can create. And you and your firm are probably creating all these types of pieces of content right now. Those can all be video. And I know it's probably challenging to say, well, wow, we need to create all these videos at once. No, you don't. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But if you think about the next 5 years, yes, you do need to create all these different pieces of content. And video is part of an adoption curve. If you think 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, some of these things that you see before you, these were not common practice. Many of you thought email marketing was spam or didn't really invest in SEO or PPC. Maybe, thought social media was like a wave that wasn't going to stick. Well, that's not the case. And that is the same case with video, because these technologies, these digital marketing technologies that were once not common, are indisputable that you need these things for your business today. So I'll also say now that if you are quote unquote late to the game with video, or you think you are, you're not. It will take some time to adopt video, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But if you get started today, in the 2 or 3 years you have ahead of you, you will be ahead of the curve, because at that time, it's going to be common practice, just like all those other technologies. And as I mentioned, it will take a little bit of time to get your video mojo going, because video is a little bit different than just creating a blog post. We want to focus on business objectives. We want to do the production. We need to take that content. We need to put that into the different channels, monitor and adapt that. And then we want to do video again on a different business objectives. And there's also your camera presence and the process of understanding that you don't need to be perfect in front of the camera. That will just come with time. So we say, if you are going to get started today, it'll probably take about 2 years to get your mojo going. That is from start all the way through to finish, and to get going through the circle a few times until your organization has workflows, you're all comfortable with video, and video is not so daunting where it might be right now. So where do you begin? Where do you get started? We talked about a lot of different business objectives that are out there that you can integrate video with. Well, we have a famous saying here. When you start thinking about video, the first thing to do is to forget about video. Did you just hire an SEO company? Did you get an email marketing system that you need to pump content in? Do you have a new website? Is there a new practice area that you just hired a lateral on? Or maybe there's another practice area that you're going to drill down into. Focus on the business objectives that you are working on now. Advertising, conversion, thought leadership, industry area, SEO ranking, recruitment. These are all specific business objectives that you need video content for. Because if you have a business strategy that you're focused on these business objectives, you're going to spend time, money, and effort. Video should complement and push through the same messaging of these specific business objectives. And then that's where the wheel comes in. You go to a different business objective and create video content for that. So when does it make sense to do video? All the time. Here are some different use cases that we have worked with law firms on. And I'm not going to read all of them, but thought leadership is a big one. Talking head types of pieces of content that are anywhere between a minute to 2 to 3 minutes that serve on bio pages, blog posts, social media. There's a lot of ways that you can take those thought leaderships, but it's common questions and information that a partner would give to a new client or maybe existing clients through client alerts. Pro bono videos, recruiting videos, bio videos have become pretty popular because everybody has a bio page with a nice picture. So now the videos are replacing the picture so people can get to know the partner over and above just a picture. So we talked about how to build a long-term strategy, and that is done through short-term projects. There are very few firms out there that have the time, money, and resources to do all the videos that they want at one time. It's just not possible. So under that assumption, focusing on your business objectives first, what you do is start to build your different video projects over time that plug into your business strategy. And then what happens is you start to build your library of videos. So this is how to create and look at really ramping up over those 2 years plus a library of video content that aligns with your business objectives. And yeah, that's it. So here's just a couple examples here of some projects we've worked with at different firms. And I love the quote from Penny about their videos increasing social media engagement. These are the thought leadership videos that I just talked about. Thought leadership videos are great investments because you can do a lot of thought leadership videos at one time. They're not like corporate overview videos or firm overview videos or pro bono videos that have to be higher produced, take a lot more time and investment. You can get a lot of talking head content because partners know what they're talking about. Here's another example from firm called Ape and Gump, and then another firm called Canton. Now, one of the things that I'll just kind of scroll back is you'll see that there's a lot of videos here that have the same background, right? We do this by design, and that's something called batch producing. So the question here is, would you ever just bake one cookie? Right? You wouldn't get all the ingredients out, spark the oven, do everything just to make one cookie. You would make a batch of cookies. Why? It's just more valuable to your time to make more cookies. So that's the same methodology that we employ, especially when we talk about thought leadership videos. Because you have a partner, or you can line up a couple partners in a day, one setup, and have them come in, talk about a topic, get in, get out. Topic, get in, get out. This is Eric Jesse. When we first started working with Eric could probably do a video, maybe 2 videos in 1 hour. But over time, he was able to understand the production process, understand what the editing process was going to be, get more comfortable in front of the camera, and then be able to produce 5 videos in an hour. How efficient is this for him and also his marketing team? Because now in an hour's time, they have 5 months worth of video that they can ramp out. So we do this about once a quarter with him. So I have a little exercise for you right now. It'll take about 1 minute. And I want you to think about some of the FAQs, right, that you are asked. Because FAQs are high ROI videos. You could do a lot of them at one time, and they're highly sought after by people because they're searching for answers to their solutions. So everybody on this webinar knows the top 5 to 10 questions that they or their attorneys get asked over and over and over again. I'm going to take 1 minute, not 2 minutes. And I want you to write down 5 to 10 questions that you get asked all the time. Ready? Go. What are questions that you get asked all the time or you find yourself repeating all the time? Think about your practice area. Think about a law. Think about a process that you have at your company. Okay, great. So that becomes your roadmap for video right there. That's your starting point to create content. So the next part of the webinar is going to be question and answer. And the exercise that I just took you through, I've done. And one of the questions I get asked all the time is, what are you guys thinking? What's the number one question about video? How much, right? How much is your video going to be? That's the number one question. So we have created actually a couple videos about how to explain how much. So there are 5 main areas that every video production company goes through to determine how much your video is going to cost. These are the 5 main areas. The next slide shows those variables. 1 location versus 3. Everything being equal, guess which one is going to cost more? You'll invest more with that. Again, higher levels of cameras, lights, staff, motion graphics. So when you approach a video production company, try to have a number in mind that's comfortable with you and challenge them to come up with a nice package, because they are always going to want to do the best for you, because they know that an extra camera, an extra light, something that they might do in post, you like the videos that you like for a reason. The only thing we want to do is give you the best video. But sometimes budgets don't allow for that. We have tools. Oops, sorry about that. Let me get full screen here. So we have tools and we have ways to help you leverage your budget to do things that you don't know, but we'll only know that if you're open and honest with us, and we can work and collaborate with you. There are a ton, and I mean a ton, of great video production companies out there that do really good work. We don't want to take your money. We want to do the best creative job for the budget that you have. And going back to this slide, you'll see that there's many different ways that you could leverage your budget. Okay, next slide. How long should your video be? That's another question I get asked a lot. Everybody thinks shorter is better. Not the case. The context and relevancy of the content will dictate how much time somebody spends watching that video. Let me repeat that. The context and relevancy of the content, aka how important is that message to the viewer, will determine how much time they spend with your video. Yes, in most cases, you don't want a long video at the beginning stages of the sales process, but even on social media, people watch long videos if it's relevant to them and the content is relevant to them. So think about that. We have a golden rule that says never make a video longer than it has to be. A 5-step process is going to be a longer video than a 3-step process. So how often should you be doing video? This is going to differ per organization, because every organization has different resources, and that's budgets, that's people, capabilities, partners. But think about video not as a sprint, but as a marathon. Remember the short-term projects? Everybody can do short-term projects. Some organizations will do short-term projects once a year, twice a year, and others might be doing them once a month. This is something that I think over time, as you see the value of video, the cadence of you producing a video will probably go up as you see the value of your investment. And those videos should not be equal. We talked a little bit about this before, but this really highlights the different types of videos and the production value of those videos. I'm going to start at the bottom here because you all wrote down FAQs. So everybody put a budget number in mind. Whatever that budget is, you could have a company come in and do all of those FAQs at one time. Talking head, really simple, maybe motion graphics, maybe not, but talking head videos. But then go up to the top of a high level production video. It's probably like a pro bono video, a firm overview video, a practice area overview video. The same budget that you just put in your head with the FAQs to get 10 videos, you're just going to get one video out of that because the production value of those videos is a lot higher. So again, you should have all of these different pieces of content being developed over the years. So there's a couple ways to get video. We highly recommend our clients doing video themselves with the caveat that they know what they're doing. And most clients don't know what they're doing at the beginning. So we recommend starting with a professional crew where you will learn a lot. And going back to the cadence of video, maybe you'll use a professional crew twice a year. And you'll also do video by yourself 2 or 3 or 4 times a year as the need arise. But starting with a professional crew will help teach you things that you just don't know by trying to figure it out yourself. The other option is remote. And this is not Zoom. This is a technology that gets downloaded via an app onto your phone and still maintains a producer and a director. This is actually the platform right here. So it maintains the producer and director. Other people from your organization can come in, records up to 4K footage. And then what we do is we take that and we can download that and produce any type of video for that. This is a phenomenal technology, and we've got this special going on, or would offer this 6 free videos with any 3 or 6 month plan. If anybody is interested, email me at rweiss@Multivision Digital. It's a phenomenal way to create FAQ content, thought leadership videos that are high quality and low budget. So to script or not to script, we say never script. Now that doesn't mean that you're not prepared. We want you to be prepared, but if you think about the questions that you answer, how you respond to your clients today, you are doing so without a script. You do it really well, or you would not be in business. Right? But there are a couple of kind of camera tips that we want you to follow, right? By having a plan, bullet points, look into the camera, smile. If you mess up, it's fine. You can give pauses. Try not to sway in front of the camera. And it's okay to talk like you normally do. Remember, you're not an actor. I like to say to people, think about the last performance that you went to. Any type of performance like this, I guarantee you someone there messed up. You just don't know it because they played right through it. And that's what you do if you're giving a presentation like this. I messed up today. If you're giving a presentation, if you're in front of clients, if you're at a networking event explaining what you do, you're not perfect, but the person on the other end understands because you are a professional. And this is where a professional crew really comes in to help, is to help hone your presence on camera and be natural. So we've got just a couple more slides left to go. And this is what we call a video first marketing strategy. So once you have your video, what do you do with it? Having a plan to take that content and transcribe it into blog posts, social media images with text, other smaller videos, and then all driving back to your website or different landing pages on your website is just going to drive more search engine traffic, more social media awareness, email open rates and click-through rates, and website conversions. So if you think back to that 2-year journey, this is part of that 2-year journey. If you've never done video before, you probably don't have any processes and workflows set up to take that video and then put that through the channels of your internal or external marketing staff that need to utilize that content to do what that content needs to do. And video is a phenomenal piece of content. So in summary, video can hit all of your core business objectives. It's not a one-shot deal. It's not a sprint. It takes time to learn, but it is well worth the journey because at the end of the day, people will ignore it, just like they ignored websites, just like they ignored social media, PPC, SEO. But the ones that got it down were able to learn it. Those are the ones that got the competitive advantage to get ahead. So thank you very much. Hopefully we've got some good questions and we'll take it from there. I will close this down.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert, for your insights on video production and the value of video marketing specifically for law firms.
Yeah.
As he mentioned, we can go ahead and take questions. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to submit them by clicking the Q&A button in the control panel at the bottom of your screen. Looks like we've already got a couple. So our first one is, what is your opinion about using AI tools to make or edit video?
I guess, it's hard to answer that because it's what kind of business objective are we talking about, right? There's devils in the details. Let's start with the editing side first, okay? We don't use AI to edit a video, okay? We use AI to do certain things, fix audio. Maybe there's like a big splotch right here, right? That I can take and I could cover the splotch, right? Maybe I want to remove that picture. There's things with AI in post that we can do professionally, but we don't just have this online tool and use AI to edit a video. We think that for the most part, most of the kind of consumer AI tools right now produce cheap video, right? You put a script in and yeah, it's video, but the images might not match up to what's seen. You can tell it's like not great. And then there's tools where professional tools that we will enhance video. So we did this lifestyle clothing project for this high school where all the kids like made their bomber jackets and made their tracksuits and stuff like that. So with AI, we created like these characters, like cartoon characters that emulated the kids, right? And it was super cool. But that wasn't like snap and do it. I mean, you need to use the tool and learn AI. It took us a while to do that. That was the use of AI within our creative process and post-production process.
Awesome. Thank you for those insights, Robert. Our next question is, how long do you think it takes a video campaign to actually monetize for a firm?
Again, what kind of campaign is that? Is that a thought leadership campaign that you're going to organically post and blog and send out emails? Or you're going to create a campaign on LinkedIn and you're going to pay to show those videos. One of our clients, this is probably 2 years ago now, there was this JSON hack, JSON, some type of code technology. So they created 3 videos that they pushed through social media, and it was only targeted to IT people, CIOs, high, like you and I would never, lawyers would never see this. But the ROI within 3 weeks was off the charts, right? Remember that context and relevancy, right? The context of that message, because it was the laws about what's going on with this JSON hack to that audience on LinkedIn. P.S. These videos were 12 minutes and 11 minutes long on LinkedIn. Okay. So in that case, their distribution plan was to pay to get those videos in front of relevant eyeballs. High ROI. There's the other flip side to that of SEO, which takes a long time, right? So you might create, a series of thought leadership videos, but you know what? You have to keep on. You can't create one blog post and expect your site to rank. You create blog posts every couple of weeks, and that's the same thing with video. Is it needs to be ongoing and sustainable, and then things build up over time, especially if you're going to do it organically. But I'll say one thing else is that's where the video first marketing strategy comes in, to be able to take some of those videos and make sure that you have a plan to maximize the distribution of that, right? So
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. Our next question, and I know you touched a little bit on this in the slides, but could you speak a little bit more about what a quality over quantity video production process kind of looks like for a law firm?
quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. Well, I would assume that even though you're talking lower quality, you still want to remain professional, right? So there's going to be some professional. So I'm going to go take this budget. So here's a $2 sign budget. Okay. So we might allocate that budget to do one practice area marketing video focused on a practice area. Okay. But then we're going to take that same budget and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FAQ videos. Okay. These are mainly simple, kind of like I'm at, talking head, one person talking about a topic to the camera. Maybe the same person talking to the camera, and maybe another person coming in talking to the camera. This right here, we need to interview a bunch of people. We need something called B-roll. We need nice shots of the office. We need a nice sunrise. We need to do certain things to make this a lot prettier, right? Because that's your practice area marketing. That's your high-level practice video. That's the lead. Talks about lots of different things, whereas these talk about one topic in and out, one topic in and out, one topic in and out, mainly driven by a talking head. I don't need to interview 3 or 4 people like I do here and then try to weave those messages in together, which takes more time in post.
Awesome. Thank you for that visual as well. It's really helpful. All right. Our next question is, how do we actually measure the ROI of our video marketing efforts? What would you recommend for measuring that?
That depends on where you're at on your adoption scale, I would say. For the most part, firms are going to get started with YouTube. YouTube's a great platform. You take the embed codes, you put them onto your your website, and you start looking at the views, the likes, the shares. I mean, that's the simplest, easiest way to do it. Once you get more sophisticated, there are software as a service platforms that you can buy that plug into HubSpot, Salesforce, other types of CRM systems that you can really, really integrate. And then those platforms give you analytics. YouTube gives great analytics as well, right? Don't get me wrong. YouTube is awesome. And then one of the values you get is YouTube is the second largest search engine. So if you do it right and you optimize for search on YouTube as well, you'll get some additional bang for your buck on YouTube.
Awesome. Thanks, Robert. Our next question is, what do you feel are the best distribution strategies for law firm videos when you're distributing across digital channels?
I'll go back to the video first marketing strategy. I think that's probably the best way to do it. And again, this takes a little bit of, I'm going to share my screen, okay? So this takes a little bit of forethought to do and trial and error to get down, because the first time you're going to do this, it's the first time you're doing it. But you take that video and then you're planning to create a blog post from that video. Well, what do you do with your blog posts now? Oh, you probably send them out via email. You probably social post them. Do you give them to an industry publication? We do. We have one firm we work with that does a lot of bankruptcy videos that they give to some bankruptcy organization, and that bankruptcy organization actually distributes them. So if you have that type of relationship with a national organization, a local chamber, that's where you could take that embed code and start to get that out. So that's where most firms can and should start with video. Then you can get more sophisticated and advertise your video. You can get your videos in front of the right people. If they're recruiting, obviously you want them on your recruiting page, and you want to get them on Indeed and those other channels, and then make sure that your business development teams and then your who's ever driving sales and client engagement uses those videos over and over and over and over again, right? Because the theory is that most videos will last for a long time. So a video done today, you can post on social media today, and then next year, people forget.
And that even really leads great into our next question, which is how can we repurpose a single video, whether that's, multiple forms of content for different platforms, or like you're saying, maybe posting it later on. How would you recommend repurpose?
Video first marketing strategy. Then we just
Perfect. And then this person asked, what types of video content tend to perform best for law firms? I know you talked about kind of talking heads, but this person says, like, are testimonials good? Thought leadership, case studies? What do you think there?
So the talking head, FAQs, thought leadership, they're kind of all the same thing, So I think they perform great. Because they can be used in so many different ways and your clients are searching for those things. But if you go back to that, I'm going to go back here to this slide. If you go back to this slide about short-term projects, okay? So you have case study, thought leadership, SEO, like you should have all of those. So the answer is not to not do those. It's going back to that discussion about business strategy of where do you get started first, right? To align video to the different things that you're going to do and then check off the next box. Right. But listen, customer testimonials always work. Thought leadership. It's not a matter of or, it's a matter of and.
Awesome. Thank you. Our next question is, do you recommend or do you think that there's an importance to having different types of production value for different platforms? So say whether you're making a TikTok video compared to a website video.
Mm-hmm. I would say I would just take that a level up and say different production values, period. Yes. Independent of platform, because on TikTok, you see some really good production value videos. And I would need to be convinced that law firms need to be on TikTok. I would think probably Google would be a better investment than TikTok. I think TikTok's just, where everybody thinks they should be. But this is where that DIY remote professional slide comes in. Okay. So we're a big believer of firms should do videos by themselves, especially if it's like something new, they're at an event, or they just had this idea, epiphany. Do it, even though it might be low production value. But the point is, make sure that that's not your only content. You should have a ton of professional stuff out there first. So when they see that, they know that's a one-off, not to have a bunch of crap. And then, because you're a professional organization, you need to lead with the professional quality content first.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robert. And this is a short question, but this person asks, do you recommend using a teleprompter to avoid the oohs and ums kind of within the content that you're creating?
Is that if that person is an actor, sure. If they're not, then no. I think there was a slide that says to script or not to script. And what we want to do is take a bullet, like especially if you're doing FAQs, right? Take a Post-it note, topic one, here's the 3 things I need to talk, right, about that one topic. You know it, but you might not have any camera presence right now. That's why you're doing the ums. That's where a professional comes in to help direct you. And you will learn that over time. The other thing is, what a professional can do is, go through with you and do take 1, take 2, take 3, and flush out those ums and ahs. But a couple ums and ahs, you do that in person. So why is that a problem?
Great point. Thank you, Robert. This person asks, I'm a young freelancer legal video producer. What would you recommend for putting together my pre-production plan and best guiding my clients?
Can you repeat the question? So
So-
he's a video production company.
Yeah, so they're starting out on their own. It says they're young, they do freelance legal video production, and they're really just looking to develop kind of how do I create a good pre-production plan that guides my clients well.
Messaging. And you're going back to this. When people come to me, they start to tell me what they see in the video, and I'm like, I don't care. Right? So topic 1, what are the 3 bullet points? Once I understand this, I can go create, I can go buy, I can have somebody on camera. The creative comes from this. It doesn't start with what I see. So and this is any law firm, by the way, not just production companies, always start with the message. I don't care what I see. What do I hear? So any video you do, you should be able to close your eyes and the message should be perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, Robert. So we've got a couple questions, actually. This person asks, should I take a video of myself before I start doing this? This person also asks, how do I get attorneys at my firm comfortable with the camera? So do you have any tips about kind of getting comfortable with video and making that happen?
I would start, so the second question first. So I would start with a couple of attorneys who are open to it. Start with them first. Don't try to force anybody to be on camera, and build momentum. Okay. Remember, the first time attorneys are on camera, they'll probably not be good. They need to understand that it's a process. I say this a lot to my clients: trust the process. And sometimes the first time they talk, they hate themselves. I'm like, don't worry about it. Trust the process. All right. I know what I'm doing. All right. And they trust the process. They trust me, and they end up having a good video where they look and sound good. That's what they want. So with that particular question, get started small, build from there, and make sure that those attorneys, regardless of the first result, are committed to doing it at least 3 times.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
what was the second question?
Yeah, it was about like, do you recommend that I kind of take some videos of myself to get comfortable before I start doing, the full production for the video?
I mean, I can't say why that wouldn't help. I don't think I recommend that or not recommend that. That if you got the time, do it. Like, but that's where, again, a professional comes in. We're gonna help prep you before you get on camera. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you what not to do. I'm gonna make sure that you're good before you show up, and then when you do show up, I'm gonna help guide and coach you, to be normal and comfortable.
Awesome. Thank you. And we do have a question about whether, focusing on in-house video production or outsourcing to professionals is what they should focus on. And would you say that that kind of supports what your answer would be, that, you get that additional support before you go on and film if you're doing outsourcing versus in-house?
Yes, exactly. And there's only so much that one in-house person can do. Like I have a crew. I've got a team of people, right? So I'm focused on the talent. I got somebody on camera and audio. Like, it's technology. Things will go wrong. You know? Plus, we typically have 2, if not 3 of almost everything. Because our saying is, if you have one, you have none. Right? So these are all like things that nobody thinks about when they hire a video production company, right? But I guess the bigger answer is, like, I would ask that person this question: is like, what are your resources now? Do you have somebody in-house now? Do you not? What are their capabilities? And if it was me, I could be like, yeah, that person could be part of our crew. I'm okay with that. Right? They could be part of our crew if they wanted to. But it's really coming down to cadence and seeing the value of video and having every firm decide that for themselves.
Awesome. I think makes a lot of sense. All right. Our next question is about video length. So, what do you feel like is the ideal length for different types of videos? Do you think that should change based on the platform? What would you say there?
No, I don't think that should change via the platform. I think and the reason is that most firms should make videos for their website, not for social media. Social media becomes icing on the cake, but they should make it for their website. And the golden rule is never make a video longer than it has to be. Period. End of story. If I'm looking at this and I have 6 bullet points, I would cut that in half and make that 2 videos, because you probably can. Okay. So we have a manufacturing client that we did an 8.5-minute video on a machine. 8.5 minutes. You're like, oh my gosh, it's so long. The watch time is through the roof because it's a $2.5 million purchase by a potential client. The only way that they're going to get information is being Zoomed, PowerPointed to death, or going to the facility where we shot this, which is a time suck. So if you think about 8.5 minutes, it's a it's a godsend to them in terms of time saving. But you're like, oh my gosh, it's 8.5 minutes, right? If there was less steps in this long steel line, it would have been less. If there were more steps, it would have been longer. Never make a video longer than it has to be.
Great point. Thank you. We have 2 more questions and then we can go ahead and wrap up. This person asks, if you're a solo practitioner, should I make videos that reflect more of a personal community, or should I focus on filming with a lot more clients, shaking hands, those testimonial things? What do you think for a solo practitioner would be a good approach?
Yes. All of that. Okay, video is not a one-shot deal. You should have videos of yourself, videos that are out there. And I would also ask, what do you do now? Are you out in the community? Is that part of who you are? If so, then the answer is yes. I don't want to try to have video fake who you are. But again, it's not about one video. It's about having all these looks. And that's a great use case because this particular person might be in their office, in their nice suit, and then out in the community in a jacket, right? Or in shorts digging something. I don't know, doing some community effort, right? So think about the know, like, and trust factor where I see that person pontificating about what they know as an expert and then seeing them in shorts in their community. I'm really getting to know them. And that's the power, the power of video is that it does that. It's not going to do that with one video. It'll do that with many videos over time.
Awesome. Thanks, Robert. Our last question for today, ending off with a bang. What are the most common mistakes law firms make when they start with video marketing? What would you say for that?
Teleprompter, trying to be perfect, and ignoring it. Oh, and then not having a plan to distribute that video once it's done. I would say that's probably the top 4.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your insights and giving us all of that information to help support those plans for video production. And thank you all so much for your audience questions. Really lovely to hear from you all. We want to thank you for joining us for another Justia webinar. I wanted to remind you all, as I did at the top of our presentation, of the services available to you through our website platform, Justia Elevate. It's our innovative, feature-packed website solution designed specifically for law firms. It's built on a powerful WordPress-based platform and offers great tools like the Justia AI Writer to help you seamlessly create content, and our AI-powered Justia Chat to help you connect with new leads with ease. You will have everything that you need to stand out online if you sign up for Justia Elevate, and plans start at just $82.50 a month when paid annually. If you'd like to find out the cost for your firm, you can visit elevate.justia.com/price, or you can always call us at 888-587-8421. Thank you all so much for coming, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on law practice and legal marketing. See you in our next video.